Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of SimCity. The last episode was an extra long one. Some of you probably didn't watch that all the way to the end. Lengthy videos are not everyone's cup of tea, but I just wanted to say that this episode I think is going to be exciting. We're going to be really rebuilding all of the city. If you didn't catch much of the last episode, basically I'd done some restructuring in the city over here and it made a huge difference to the amount of money coming in. I got loads and loads of money from freight shipments which are all being met, and we've just built the trade port, and that is actually now sending freight out on this little train here. Let's see it go around the U-bend. It does. It's a little derpy, but that is very cool to see. So for the next few episodes we probably will be spending some time in this city. I should make an effort to go over to the other one as well. But yeah, we're going to be doing some big restructuring here, and soon I've just realised we're going to be able to get rid of this when the Great Works is done. Let's actually check up on that. It's still probably okay. We're up to 39,330 tons of alloys, so it's going to take a while. I'm going to continue shipping out my resources to it though, so we can get it underway. And I'm not sure exactly where to start this episode. I'm going to make a cut in a minute and figure out what bit I want to do first. But I just wanted to say, like, the likes and the views on the series have been really great, but they are starting to decline a little. So I just want to know if you guys are still interested in SimCity. I mean, if people aren't watching it, I guess that's a good sign that maybe the interest is declining a little. And I have been doing other games as well. I started playing that bridge game and people really like to see that. But just let me know if you still want me to continue doing SimCity, because I really like this game. I could play this quite a lot, I think. It does have its flaws. You know, you've seen the problems we've had in the previous episode with the solar farm, but I still really like this game. It is a lot of fun. And so yeah, right, I'm going to figure out what it is I'm going to do. I'm going to make a cut and then I'll come back and show you. So, I've kind of made up my mind of what I want to do. I've modified this road down here, by the way, and I was thinking of extending this road, or even moving it over a little bit so we make the most use of this land here. However, I think keeping in these low land value houses is a good idea, because it keeps down the commuting numbers if we have more people of that value living in this region. So we're going to keep that road like it is, but all of this behind it I think is going to be replaced with a recycling centre, because we want to move this one and possibly this one over here as well, so maybe we could have two back to back. But the amount of space that we have is quite limited, so I'm not sure what more we could do than those two being in there. But I would also like to move the sewage treatment and the water pumping station, and ideally the garbage dump as well, because I want to remove all of this and turn this into residential and university area. So we're going to be moving that around. Then up here we're going to be extending this road all the way down here, but it's not going to connect up to the avenue in the middle, simply for traffic reasons. That will mean that people in this part of the city will use that connection to go across into that area and then drive down here. So we're going to keep them coming across this part of the city. So that means we've got to remove this. Now I've also made some changes to the budget. If you have a look at how much money I'm spending, it's actually pretty similar to the what it was a moment ago. But if we have a look here, I've shut down two of these fire trucks. That's saving us 800 an hour, and the reason why is because, again, you build this stuff and they don't go and put out fires. It's really weird. Same thing with the hospital, treating 18 people a day. So what I've done there is a little bit of experiment. I've shut down some of the ambulances because they clearly aren't needed. I built ourselves a diagnostic lab up the top there, a wellness centre and an emergency centre as well, and I kind of get this feeling like they're not really going to help either. The death situation that we have in the city is probably going to stay the same. So I think last episode I talked about moving these avenues over so we could get more of these large tech buildings in, but I've changed my mind about that, because we're going to be building them all the way down this side of the map, and we don't want to overdo it, because otherwise we'll have too many people commuting into the city. And at the moment now the traffic is pretty bad. It's not as bad as it has been, but I haven't seen it break down like that in a while. It might be because this road is disconnected. So yeah, I think what we should do with the industrial area here is actually leave that to the mercy of the residential area. So if ever we want to expand, we can move these roads across like that and just fill up those areas with residential and commercial. So yeah, what was I going to do? Talked about it so much. Yeah, we're going to remove this recycling area and put it down here. Okay, look at how compact that is. That is insane. And also, if you take a look at the money that I've spent, it is ridiculous. I had to rebuild this a couple of times because I put it in the wrong position. I put them next to each other, and this one over here, it shows you the outline for the plot on the side there where you usually put something, and the metal one is slightly bigger. So it didn't fit there, and it didn't fit in this one. I had to rebuild it a couple of times because of the limited space that we have, and eventually I managed to get one that fit in the end there. So this one over here does both plastics, and this one does what's the other one? Alloys. So I thought by dividing them up like that, maybe that would help with how the trucks go around collecting the recycling, but probably not. So anyway, that left us with this little plot of land between each one, there and there, and I was going to use this to put another building. I wasn't sure what sort of building it would be, but yeah, I needed more space to put in these little trucks, which is something else I hadn't considered. So this bit works out really nicely, and if you look at this, both of these now have four trucks on the side, or the little holding areas for them, and then 4 up the back here as well. So we don't need this little bit of road there, that's completely pointless. Let's get rid of that. And I haven't even checked to see what we can do with the area up here. It looks like we could possibly zone a little bit of housing there. Let's just see what happens if we do that. See if anyone wants to move in. And nah, that's not big enough, is it? So not even an extra bit over on that side. Okay. So that is pretty much that area done. I might want to change this up to industrial at some point, but there you go. We've got our 3 streetcar depots and our recycling centres all compacted into that area there, which is nice. It also means we can't move any of this other stuff away, really. We might reposition this water pump so it's on this road here. I remember I couldn't do that before because the recycling centre was in the way. And yeah, you can see I've also zoned this off residential just so we have a little bit extra income coming in at the moment. And I've noticed that my population has taken a bit of a tumble there. That's probably where I destroyed all of those houses. So let's have a look at the statistics. We've been doing a little bit of rebuilding. That's good to see. We're going to have more jobs in that area soon. Looks like we might need more commercial areas, so we should probably have a look at that. Why don't we do that now? We could change something over somewhere, and we have an elite amount of people in the city who are not enrolled. The old 1337. Okay, anyway. So the commercial map, let's go to the zoning for commercial and bring up that. So where are commercial points in the city? We have 2 down the end here, lots of abandoned buildings, and then 2 or 3 down the front. So what I think we should do is add just another one there, and then maybe one there. They look like 2 good spots to put them. Okay, so if we just demolish, in fact let's rezone before we do this, get rid of that, replace it with one of those. Demolish that building, sorry. And look, they said, where's all the shopping in this town? Well, we're going to demolish your building and put it where you are, unfortunately. We're going to remove this one here because this is slightly smaller, and the largest commercial plot is actually slightly smaller, so it would make more sense to remove this one than it would a larger one. That didn't work. There we go. See, no. There we go. Okay, so that's getting rezoned, so hopefully that helps with that. Also, the budget is still pretty lousy, but after, you know, spending all this money, especially on the hospital, we could probably just turn the hospital off, you know. It's only 23 people a day. Let's have a look at how that's doing. So we actually, no, we have 4 deaths per day. That is a huge improvement. Yeah, that's great. That seems to have made a difference. There's still quite a few sick sims around the place, but yeah, that's cool. Okay, so that seems to have made a difference. Let's have a look at the approval rating. It's gone down, which is kind of strange if that has made a difference. So they're not complaining about death, although they're low tech. They're not either. They're complaining about skilled workers and a place to ship their freight. That is slightly worrying after we've built the trade depot. Okay, there were germs but not deaths. Not enough shoppers. Okay, so people keep dying. Kids not going to school. Yep. Same all the way through here. So health does apparently does appear to still be a problem. Let's see what's going on with our trade port. That does not look good. That does not look good. 0 on everything. It could be because this thing is still open. That has 0 on everything. Oh dear. Oh dear, you make a few changes, things look good, and then all of a sudden your trade stops getting used. That is so weird. Why is it doing that? Let's export those because maybe, I don't know, that'll stimulate it and get it to go. And that is already being exported. That is good. Okay, and then we have a load of low-tech industry down here. This is actually not what I want. I wanted high-tech, so how do we rectify that? It might be because of the land value. Let's have a look at that quickly. That one there. Yep, that is not good. Okay, so what we're going to do is de-zone most of this, leave enough for a large building to appear on the end there, and we're actually going to get rid of these. These are not the sort of industries that I want in the town or city. And they've all got complaints about water as well. We should probably investigate that. And the building is on fire, so I can't destroy it. Well, my plan was to put down a nice garden just on the end here. In fact, we can actually do that right now. What sort of garden should we put down? Something expensive. And maybe a little bit larger than that. One that goes back is what I'm thinking. Yeah, like that. So hopefully that increases the land value a little, and then we can get some high-tech industry here. That is still on fire, that's not good. Let's see if our fire trucks have been dispatched. Yep, it looks like they're sort of in that region. I think you're going the wrong way, mate. It's going the wrong way. Oh dear. And this one's pulled over here because that one's also on fire. That's not good, is it? So yeah, we had a bit of a problem with water apparently. Yep, we've come round to 0 on there. Let's have a look at the water map. You can see it's not really reaching this one over here, is it? So we need to rotate that at some point. Could probably do that now. Wonder if we could get away with that. I don't know, I don't want to do that at the moment. We should just plop down an extra water tower in this region. Sorry, you're going to have to move out. And that'll help solve the problem for now. Okay, so what am I going to do next? I'm really not sure. I kind of want to see what's going on around the city at the moment because we're having things not going quite as I planned, especially with the trade. What happened there? I mean, it was all good and then it went wrong. How very descriptive. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to take a break now and just sort of wait around and see what happens. I've just logged on to do some more recording and then I heard a big explosion and I thought, oh no, another building's blown up, and then I've seen this. This popped up on the screen. The solar farm is now done. I can cut the ribbon and we have a little cinematic to watch here by the looks of it. That is interesting. There is 4 solar farms there. And so in the last episode I pointed out how there was only one corner of this that had that. That's so strange. Now we have 4 solar farms by the looks of it. I don't know what is going on. Let's go and have a look. Can we zoom in, or is this all we get to see about it? Power supply to your city is off. Can I turn that on? No, because it needs workers. So I guess I'm going to have to make some commuters then, which is interesting. This doesn't really tell us a lot. Oh, that's interesting. You can see regional views and things like that. That's cool. Anyway, let's go back into the main city and see if anyone's going to be commuting yet. I imagine these stats won't update that quickly. So these ones here, these numbers are the ones we're going to have a look at. So when I last recorded, I think I said that I was just going to look around the city and find something to do. So I'll continue that, and while I'm looking around, oh yeah, I think I might do this actually next. I will expand the avenues over on this side and finish off our whole residential area and try and get it all high density like all of this is, and then maybe when I've done that, those figures will update. So I'm in the middle of restructuring our residential area over on this side. I thought I'd give a little status update to how I've been doing this, because I've been redoing this part up here as well. I've been destroying buildings literally just to maximise the amount of space that they're using. For example, there are lots of little buildings like this in between some of them, so I've been destroying them and moving them all closer together. At the moment I've got as far as this one here, and that's not upgrading to one of the bigger size ones yet. You can see that it's slightly smaller in width, so what I could try and do is put down a park next to it over here, but I'm not really sure if that's the right way to go about doing it. But that's something that we'll do over the city over the course of time in general, because there's lots of little houses like this plotted throughout the place, and this one here, and if we destroy those and just move this over a little bit, then we can move the park and we can really fill up all of the space that's available, because there's lots of little bits like that around the place, and once we remove those we'll get a few extra buildings out of it. But the population has really plummeted. It hasn't really hurt too much either. In fact, my money per hour has gone up, or less negative. You know what I mean, like it's gone up but the number's gone down because it's in the negative. Yeah, which is interesting. It's weird how this game works. You do things like destroy houses and then you start getting more money per hour. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But let's have a look at the stats. You can see that there are now a lot more unfulfilled jobs and a few unemployed people, but one of the interesting things that's happened is the amount of unsatisfied shoppers has gone down, so I think that's a good sign that we need to throw up a commercial zone every so often as we're adding these new houses in, which is what I'm going to be doing, and I think I might put it up the end here, the next commercial one. I don't think we have any in this part over here. Let's just de-zone that and try and turn that into commercial. Anyway, I'm going to continue. Another thing I need to do is put in some of these stops. I was thinking what I might do is actually remove most of them in the city and sort of put them in a grid so they're closer together and have more of them overall, because at the moment a lot of people are using the system. Well, since I've halved our population almost, that's actually gone down, but before it was around, I think, 200,000 at one point. I saw it, and I've also seen some comments from people saying that you should put them directly outside things like the hospital and then more people will use them. So why don't we try that now, actually. So that's not directly outside, but it's about as close as you can get. Yeah, so I think we'll do that at another time though, just put as many of these down as we can and just see if it helps with traffic. And traffic has got a little worse actually since the population's gone down. I think it might be because people are commuting to the Great Works as well. We have 300 workers going over there at the moment, and the benefit that that gives us is 0 apparently, which is awful. And I still can't believe this. 4 sites, 1 for each person. It's just ridiculous. You'd think that would be one thing for the whole region and then you'd build another one. I don't know. It's a strange game. Okay, the population of our city is back on the rise, and I finished doing this area now. I kind of gave up with waiting for all of these to turn into the bigger plots down this area, so I kind of guessed it a little bit. Some of these might not be the right size. However, when I've done this road back here, they all went straight into the high density, and it looks like these ones have just downgraded, I don't know. But what I've done here is I've squeezed in a high density avenue right at the very back, and so we get an extra row of houses because of that. Although I was just thinking, is this really a good idea, because it might encourage people to commute by travelling down here and through this road to get into this industrial area, and I still... oh no, I have connected that up, but they'll probably see that as making it longer, so they might go down this road. I'm not sure, but you can see the traffic is getting pretty bad again, which is interesting because the population's gone down and the traffic's got worse. But I still have to plop in loads of those, these things, the street... oh no, I did do that. I don't know, maybe adding a few elsewhere in the city might help, having more than less. That makes no sense whatsoever. But yeah, just having more in general should be able to help. I've also tried to expand the area down here a little bit, but we're not getting the big industrial buildings like this one, which is what I want to have going all the way across here. But anyway, it's going well. I think the restructuring is going okay. Some of the old problems with traffic are emerging again a little bit, and I think what I might do in the next episode is extend these 2 avenues down here and get rid of some of the industrial stuff that's close to this, which would make sense at the moment because I still think we have, yeah, quite a few unfilled jobs. So as the population expands, we'll move the industrial area down to here. But that is it for this episode. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you want to leave a like, it is very appreciated. So I will catch you in the next episode.